So what do the powers that be think about AARO, the organization that is supposed to be finding out the information in the government for us when regarding UAPs? Well, Timothy Alberino had both Tim Burchett and Eric Burlison on his show, and he asked him about AARO. And I was curious to what Burlison would say, because I can't really read him and knowing like kind of what he feels about the whole topic. Sometimes I feel like he doesn't think anything of it and thinks it's all BS, and other times I feel like he's a full advocate of it and he's not tuned in, but he is tuned in. I don't know. So he's really the one front and center of this clip, and I think what he says about AARO is pretty interesting, because I wouldn't guess, if you were going to ask me, out of the two of these guys, who gave this answer, I would guess it would be Burchett. So here's the question about AARO, and here's the answer. Here it is.
What do you make of the DoD's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, otherwise known as AARO? Do you guys think this organization is investigating the phenomenon in good faith? Or are we looking at a counteroffensive intended to discredit your efforts?
Tim, I'll start. My perception is that these guys gave up very quickly. I think that they investigated things, and I believe that 99.9% of the events that are reported are not real.
Sure.
They can be explained, and I think that they suffered from that kind of mounting evidence and came to the conclusion that they couldn't find anything, therefore that there wasn't anything. And I think that the latter is the mistake. And so to me, if it does exist, it's going to be extremely rare. And I think that they had a defeatist attitude whenever we spoke to them. Here's what my makeup is of the guys at AARO. If you'll indulge me, is that
of course.
I think that they have if you're in that instance and you've been given that responsibility to investigate this, and you have failed in finding the information that we're all looking for, rather than say we failed to find it and admit failure, you're going to participate in group think that there is nothing to be found, right? You're going to jump to that conclusion and assume that that's the case, rather than to admit that there's more work that needs to be done. And I think that that's probably most likely that's the sense that I've had whenever I talk with them, is that these are individuals who have not performed as what was expected, and therefore they are trying to lower the expectations. And I think
right.
I don't know that these individuals have been given the secret recipe, if you will, and are just part of the conspiracy to block the information. My guess is it's further higher up than them, if it's true that you've
right.
got the way that was described in the hearing is that program is called Immaculate Constellation, and that even the special access programs within that umbrella program have no idea what it is that they're working on. And so to me, you've got AARO, which is trying to figure out what these special access programs are working on, and they're getting really nowhere. Well, the people within those programs are not getting anywhere. They're not given the information. So at least we've been given at least a breadcrumb to go after, to investigate Immaculate Constellation. All
right, so that's very telling, I think. And like I said in the beginning in the intro, I didn't expect that from him. I thought he would be like, oh, that's what they tell us. We got to listen to them. They're on, they're the ones that we put in charge. And if they're saying there's nothing out there, then there's nothing out there. That's not what he said at all. He said what a lot of us say, right? It's like, it's okay to say, look, we've been looking into things. If this is indeed the case, this is what Burlison's also saying. But if there's one side of it to say, look, we've been looking into this thing, and we've been trying and following crumbs, and the crumbs that we're finding are leading us nowhere. So what we would like to do is try to work with you guys to try to figure out, what are you hearing that we can help with? What are those people saying, those whistleblowers, those other people? How do we help them? But instead what they're doing is saying, no, we looked and everything was, we found nothing, so there is nothing. And because of that, that person is full of it, and they're full of it, and they're all full of it. And Sean Kirkpatrick they're all full of it, right? Yeah. They're all full of it. They're full of it. They're full of it. So that's it. Bye. And you're like, no, that's not how it works. And the other side of it, what he's potentially suggesting is that, well, this is what we're supposed to say. This is the people that we work with are saying, hey, you guys are Project Blue Book 2.0. Keep everybody quiet. Tell them that they're all full of it and go about your day. I don't know what to believe. It's either one, like, hey, it's the idiots at AARO knocking on the door. What do you tell them? Tell them nothing and then tell them to say that we found nothing. Okay. And that's like he said. He said, admit that you failed and you didn't find anything. But it's like the thing that always rubs me the wrong way is the way that AARO treats people who have talked and stood up and people who are fighting the cause. It's sketchy that, I mean, Strong Kirkpatrick is the prime example of, I think, one of the sketchiest people that has ever existed. In like, he could have gotten all of this stuff and this kind of perception of him put to the side if he was like, look, the stuff that Grush is saying, I don't necessarily, I can't say any of that's true because on the side that I was on, we didn't find that. But let's work together. Not the whole, well, get him in here. Let's have him talk. He's full of it. We tried to get him to talk. He was like investigating him when you're supposed to be the guy that they come to. When they feel like you're pointing the finger and go, no, why are you making us look at that? It makes it look really sketchy. And so what Burlison's saying here is, I think, pretty accurate in the fact that these guys look like they just gave up. And if they aren't giving up, they're just covering it up. But no one takes them serious. No one took them serious on that. And no one talked about that hearing that they had afterwards because it's like, what are they saying? No one. That thing came and went so fast. I mean, I think Peter and I were on the air when that thing hit, and then we forgot that it was even a thing. So, yeah, it was the whole thing. But to hear them talking about it, and to hear that the people that are actually in the government trying to get this thing forward, and the more and more the words of the program of Immaculate Constellation comes out, I wonder what kind of answers are going to come forward and what AARO's going to be able to say with this particular program. Do they have any answers to this program? What was their official response to this program? Oh, we knocked on the door and asked them about it, but they told us no. So there's nothing. Yeah, we believe them. We called a few people and said, hey, what's Immaculate Constellation? They said it's a thing that my kid drew, and then it got out there and someone saw it. Oh, okay, it's what his kid drew. It's nothing. Is it that, or is it, hey, get out there and deny this thing, and it never happened? Like, what is it? It's one of the two, because it's clearly not, hey, what can we do to help you guys? You got this guy talking about how they're incompetent. You got, Burchett probably would have ripped him another a-hole if he was on there. So nobody takes him serious. What is it exactly that you do here? That is the question for Al. What do they do? Who takes them serious? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But anyway, what do you guys think of this? Put your thoughts in there. Tell me. I got to hear. I know there's a lot of stuff with the orbs that were out there that people they took pictures of and all that, and we're going to cover it in depth on tomorrow's UAP Tuesday. So make sure you tune into that. And thank you for everybody who's been supporting the show. I know that last month we got slammed. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a couple of those member questions that were missed for last month. We're going to put those into tomorrow's UAP Tuesday, carry those over. We have some extra videos coming out instead of 2 this month. We have 4 coming out for you. So thanks for joining. If you are a member, appreciate it. And if you want to support the channel, another way, I got 2. It's Christmas time. We're coming up to Christmas time, the holiday season. So make sure you go and you check out both Mint Mobile and our good friends over at Tile. I'll tell you about both of them, and then we'll see you back here tomorrow. You know, with big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying magically skyrockets. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. So I had been using the regular providers for a bit, and I'm not gonna lie, you hear about Mint Mobile all the time. And I was like, how true is this? True, very true. It is straight up. They tell you the truth with how this thing works. You got to say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. You use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan, just $15 a month, you got to go to mintmobile.com/DTE. That's mintmobile.com/DTE. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/DTE. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower, above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. This is the easiest thing I've ever talked about, ever, on this show or of any show I've ever been on. Tile. This is the best. I'm telling you right now that I lose my keys all of the time. At least I did. My wife would say, how do you do that again? We were supposed to go somewhere. I was supposed to pick up her sister from the airport, and I couldn't find her. We're like, oh, my God, she's going to have to take an Uber. It's going to cost so much money now. Oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I don't have my keys. I can't find them. Luckily, I found them in time, but it took a lot of unnecessary stress in order to get there. And I don't have to do that anymore because with Tile, it could be for your keys. I mean, it's so many different things for your remote control. For I have so many of them now, and I continue to use them and give them to my family. I can track where my kids are. I got a teenager, man. I got to know where her phone is. I got to know all these different things. It's so wonderful, and I can tell you also I'm giving it to my family. From my dad is older now. I'm giving it to him so I can track him, know where he's going, how he's doing, if he's healthy. I'm able to do that, to know if anything's wrong. That's what Tile helps me do. So it really does. It takes out so much stress. I am telling you, if you don't already, they've been around for a bit. This is the time to get them. Get them. It's wonderful, especially for parents, especially for people who lose crap all the time like me. Get it. So family proof your family with Life 360's Tile trackers. You got to do it. You go to tile.com. Use that code DTE. You get 15% off. That's easy. So again, tile.com. Use that code DTE. This is a no-brainer. It's easy. I lose my remote control all the time. Not anymore. Tile.com. Use that code DTE.